What's up, everybody, and happy Halloween! Yes, the Halloween decorations are now up in the garage. If you let it load and update, lovely little candles and pumpkins just dotted around in a few little places just to make it a little bit more entertaining for us. There we go. So happy Halloween, everybody. But let's get into this. Today's project is the beautiful Salem GW 500, and we have had a little bit of a name change. You saw this at the end of the last episode on Wednesday, but we're now called the Sound System Meltdown because I changed the name and because I came up with a cool livery. This is the competition car for this current round. Everybody's doing the Salem GW 500, so if you haven't done one yet, you've probably not got a lot of time, because by the time you see this video, there will be only a few hours left to get an entry in, but you can still get in and vote for your favourite. So head on over to the Discord channel, link in the description below, to see which one is your favourite. Now today, we are making this one very, very custom. You can already see it's going to be a bit lowered than the standard model. Definitely something we like here, but we do also have 45 bonus parts going on this build today. It is absolutely wild, and we have a Lotus engine stuffed under the hood instead of the standard engine. So let's have a look at this one then. As I said, it's now called the Sound System Meltdown. We got this one from the auction house. It's available in some places. I did have to edit the config, I believe, to get it in the auction house, but there we go. Did we get a good deal? No. Not by much, though. I'll take that. 23,860 is what we paid, and I could sell it right now for 23,043, losing out on 817, which isn't too shabby. Hopefully, we'll be able to claw that one back, although we're not going to sell this one. This is our show car entry, so I do need you guys to give me a score out of 10 by the end of this video so that we can get it onto the lovely show car board just up there. We've got 5 entries in there so far, 4 of which are sat out the front, and that is obviously the top 4. The only one we've lost is the Voodoo. So where is this one going to sit once you guys have given it some votes? But anyway, let's just talk about the engine. We did swap it to a new engine. It's the i4 double overhead cam K-series engine with 117 factory horsepower. Now, we will be increasing that in performance parts and making it look as cool as we can, but it is about the show car today, and we will not be racing it. So let's get this beast started. Let's get it into the car wash. Let's get it cleaned up. Here we are then in the car wash. Time to get the beautiful Salem clean, so let's just go. On you go with that. We can see that it is some sort of a yellow E underneath, and it may be staying a little bit that colour. What am I talking about? You've already seen the thumbnail. You already know what I've been working on, but it's looking cool. Anyway, let's get the interior cleaned. Nicely done. Get this beast back on the lifter. Get that engine out of there, ready to take some upgrades, and get everything else stripped down, ready to go back together. The Salem's up in the air, and you can see the first bonus part there. We have a blanking plate on the end of the exhaust because the exhaust comes in from the side there. Very customised little accent. I did try and get this blanking plate off, but I can't seem to... oh, I'm in the wrong mode. Am I in the wrong mode? Bonus part. Assemble additional parts. Yes, it won't seem to let me select it. Maybe we'll be able to get it once the exhaust's off in a little bit, because I definitely want to paint that colour to match in with the exhaust, hopefully. But anyway, there we go. Now we need to get some parts off of here. I was just going to check for that oil pan, so we need to get that one drained first. Over we go, and out you come. Am I messed up the starter? Am I going to have to go back in underneath and get the starter? I think we might. I don't know. I'm not sure. Let's get the oil pan put away, and let's get in and have a look. If we go in, and normally the starter is around here somewhere. It is, and we have to get it from the engine bay, so I do have to come back. But before we do that, we can get some other parts out. Now, as you can see, not really a connected drive shaft, just an imaginary connection on there. Never mind. Let's get you out and you out down here. Nicely done. Nice four-wheel drive Salem. We can't do the gearbox for the minute, but we can do the wheels and front drive axles. So let's get them out nice and easy. And then we'll get the starter out, and then we'll come back and get the rest of the gearbox out in just a moment. Make it a bit quicker. I'm going to go do that now. I'll be back in a second. There we go. Now the starter's out, we can move on to this gearbox. We do also need the front exhaust sections. Well, and the rest of the exhaust anyway. This is obviously custom built to wrap around up here. That's got to come from the engine. So we do need the front drive shaft and the gearbox. Out you come. Nice and easy. And I think that should be everything to allow us to remove the engine. But I am going to grab the rest of this exhaust while I'm here. And we will be keeping that catalytic converter because I need it. Otherwise, it won't all match up. There we go. Rear muffler out as well. The rest of the exhaust is pretty much exactly as it was. I didn't mean to go back in there. So let's bring you down. Let's go and grab that engine crane and see if we can rip that little Lotus engine out of there. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Nice and easy. That is what we like. Get the crane put away. And let's jump in and see what we've got in the engine bay. Nice and easy. It didn't even mean to rhyme. It just did. So in here, we've got the wishy-washy reservoir, cheeky little battery, ABS pump and module, brake servo, power steering reservoir. We do have an ECU type A down there as well. Fuse box, coolant reservoir, the air filter, and a lovely radiator just down here with a large intercooler sat down at the bottom. I do believe that is everything. Fuel tank and fuel pump down the back. For some reason, I can see one of the seats and not the other, and the steering wheel from this mode. I don't think that's meant to happen, but anyway, let's get on and drain some liquids from here. Right click, additional tools, drain tool, click and hold on the container, and it will drain all of the liquids out. We're going to get the rest of that done, get the rest of this car stripped out on the inside, get it all repaired, replaced or upgraded, ready to go back in, and then when we come back, it'll be time to sort out the body parts before getting it into the paint shop and getting on that beautiful livery. That's everything repaired, replaced or upgraded, ready to go back on the beautiful Salem. And now we need to sort this bodywork out, so let's start stripping it off. Headlights, fenders. I don't think we've actually got much on this. Rear door, nothing on the window there. Tail light. That doesn't look like the rear bumper's even attached. And rear door, that actually might be everything. Let's just go in and grab this interior out, and then we will... Okay, I think my game might be broken. It won't let me remove the seats. This is an issue. Okay, I'm going to have to figure that one out, and I'll be back with you in a short while. I went back into the car editor and changed it back to the original seats, and they've all disappeared apart from this one. So we'll just take that one out, and hopefully that is fixed it, and we'll be able to put the shiny seats back in a little bit later on. But is that now everything? Let's have a look. 1% on there. That's what we like. Do we have everything? We do indeed have everything. Now, I bought the car for just under 24,000, and the frame's at 27%. So what are we going to guess today? Oh, I'm going to go 1,500. 1,000, not too far off for the Salem at GW 500. Let's go in and have a look in the body shop. Where are you? There you are. There is everything you can put on it. Nothing swapped available there. Is there anything in the tuning shop? I didn't think there was. I already knew there wasn't. I was just playing with you. But there we go. That's everything you can put on it. So we need to get all of this ready to go back together. We're going to put on a couple of bonus parts before we throw it into the paint shop and get the livery on. And then we'll work on the rest after that. I will show you. I will not let me get rid of this bonus part here. No matter what I try and do, I cannot select it to remove that one. So sadly, that is just going to go body coloured as the cap on our exhaust because I can't take it off. But it is what it is. Let's get all the body back together then. Get it all back on this beautiful car and then get it into the paint shop. Let's get the beautiful little system and meltdown car all back together then. All of the bodywork in, so let's go. Fenders in you go, obviously on with the hood there. I did have to buy most of this brand new. Not much of it could be repaired, but it is all just what it is, so you don't need to worry about anything because it all just goes back as it came apart. Nice and simple. Let's just get around and get all of this in then. Rear doors, windows. Hopefully the interior's fixed when we get to that bit in a moment. Going all the way around. We will get a couple of bonus parts on because some of them are to do with the bodywork and not just some extra bonus little cool bits thrown in there. So let's just get all this in. You'll see all the dots for it in a minute. How much bonus parts we've got to put in this wonderful, wonderful build. But first, let's finish the bodywork. That looks like the majority of the bodywork. We'll throw our license plates on. I've gone for an abbreviated system meltdown on there because that's what this car is called today. But I don't think they fixed the plates still. No, so they're still showing up black on black, which is a bit disappointing on there, but never mind. In you go, in you go. We'll get the interior in. Hopefully this all works. Onto the interior. I've bought the new seats and I've test fitted them and so far they are in. Just giving you a glimpse at some of the additional bonus parts we've got there. Don't know why the seats are showing up as bonus parts, but they are. So that should theoretically be everything. 100%, 100%, 100%. It definitely is. But now for some bonus parts. These parts are looking pretty cool. At the front here, we've got Multi's beautiful GW 500 kit front splitter. I'm not going for the whole wide body kit, just the front splitter and the rear splitter on this one from that kit. So let's get that one on as well, or the rear diffuser, should I say. Looking pretty cool on there. And we do have one extra bonus part. I've made the spoiler look a little bit wilder than it definitely should. Normal spoiler on there. This little dotty in the middle for an SUV wing is what I've gone for. Just up at the back there, really towering it above, making it look absolutely incredible. Now, I'm not going to put in the rest of these bonus parts. There is a lot, as you can see. We've got a few things that we're going to have to colour later on, so we're going to leave them for a little bit, and we'll get them together after we've been into the paint shop. But there we go. That's everything for the bodywork done, so let's get this one into the paint shop and get that beautiful livery on it. There we go. That's everything painted, looking absolutely fantastic. And I will be honest, we've put all of the bonus parts back on because otherwise we would be here forever. So let's look at the livery, this hazardous style livery. I did kind of steal the idea a little bit from an image I saw, but I only saw sort of like this much of the car. So it was quite hard to determine. So I've made a lot of this up. Obviously, the stripes crossing up at the top there. We've got the hazard stripes down the side in the black on the yellowy green. And then we've got the green on the yellowy black just there with a few little shapes thrown in for good measure. Down the back is mostly just in a black there. Just a little bit of that green on the spoiler. It's mirrored on the other side. And then on the roof, we do have a little bit of them checkers are crossing over just into each other. Just a little bit there. I think it's looking pretty good. And now let's look at all the bonus parts. Well, and the seats. We've obviously got some beautiful colouring on the seats there. Some of that green, black, and a bit of white on there. And obviously a little bit of green on that steering wheel, or the yellowy green, should we call it. Then we've got some fluffy dice bonus part just knocked in underneath the mirror. And then if we nip into the back, there is no rear bench seat. We've added in lots of sound system stuff. I'm going to come off of this, actually, and I'm just going to remove this door, make it a little bit easier to see everything in there. Everything is mirrored perfectly on the other side. So we've got the stand for all the speakers to sit in, and then you've got 6 speakers on each side. A couple of little monitors showing the diagnostics of the car, and then a display monitor for whatever you're playing. A couple of amplifiers in there, a couple of bass boxes, and then 3 of them speaker systems, all pumped in a different colour. Looking absolutely fantastic. I think that looks great. Back on with that door, though. Back in with that window. And if we jump down to the back and open the trunk, there we go. A much bigger monitor in the boot with more speakers down either side and a lovely Boss amplifier in the middle. There is 2 more bonus parts left to go on this build, but we'll come to them a little bit later on. That's all the bonus parts in there. This is why it's called the Sound System Meltdown. Obviously, we've got an incredible sound system in there, and it kind of looks like hazardous livery. So that's why we went with that name. I think it's looking epic, but let's get it up in the air. We've got to get started with the suspension. We'll start with the shocks. Black shocks, green springs are looking very nice on there. Quite pleased with them. Thank you very much. Let's get back up. We don't have all of the assembly to do in the rear suspension today, so I'm just going to throw on the rear cross member and also this sway bar in here as well, just in a cheeky little black, looking quite good. And then let's get back up to the front. I'm just going to come out and go back in. We do have, right at the front, a large intercooler just in the black there. Then we've got the front suspension cross member, which we've done in a cheeky little white, same as the one at the back there. And obviously, we've got the steering rack in a black and the sway bar also in a black on there. Now we're going to jump to some clips of this all going in. Hopefully, it looks fantastic. And I'll meet you back in just a second. That's most of the suspension almost finished. Just a couple of bits left to go in. The wheel hub bearing at the back here, along with a lovely black rear drive axle that I just couldn't quite reach there. All looking pretty nice. We've obviously got the white cross member. Lots of black in there, and then a few splashes of that yellowy green just to finish it off. Looking very nice. If we go up to the front, again, we can't put the drive axle in until we've got the engine and the gearbox in. But again, lots of the white, a few splashes of that green just to keep it interesting, and a few bits of black down the front here. It is looking very good. I'm incredibly pleased with it. But before we move on, let's get on in with that beautiful fuel tank just in the black there, and the fuel pump in that yellowy green on the top. And that's about it for the moment, so I'm going to crack on and get the rest of the other side of the suspension all finished off before we come back and sort out that engine bay and move on to the beautiful K-Series i4 engine. There we go. That's the suspension all finished and looking very nice in the white, black, and this sort of yellowy hazard green. Absolutely loving it. But let's crack on and let's get the engine bay all sorted and ready to go. We're going to start with the big old radiator, which is just in the black. The fan housing crate, which is in green. And then we got 2 white fans on the back there. Just adding a splash of white into the engine bay. Wishy-washy reservoir blacked out, looking awesome. The ABS pump also blacked out on there, with the ABS module on top in that yellowy hazard green colour. Looking good, with some beautiful white bolts in there as well. The battery tray, we've kept that one in a black. Batteries unpainted as per normal. And then the bracket on top is in that lovely yellowy green with the support rods just in a cheeky little white on there. Oh, that's the engine. There we go. On the other support bracket there. In the white, looking very nice. Let's crack on further around. Brake servo. Now, this is green and black. It didn't quite go quite to plan, but we got some colour on it anyway, and it looks quite good. The ECU down here, not painted because you can't paint that one. And then the power steering reservoir blacked out. Coolant reservoir also blacked out. Fuse box blacked out up there as well. And the air filter base in the black. Air filter in its performance red. And then an air filter cover on top. Just in a lovely black again. With some white bolts finishing it off. Think that's everything from the engine bay. Quick spin around. Make sure we've got everything. Does look like it. So let's take a step out and have a look in. It's all got a lot of green in there. You got white down the bottom and then plenty of blacks at the top, just separating it all. This is the only thing I didn't like. I kind of would have liked that to go the other way, black and then green, but I couldn't get it to work. But it still looks good in there nonetheless, plus a few little white fans just to finish it off. But now let's go and build that beautiful Lotus engine. In we go. The block is in a black and that yellowy green on the ancillary bits, you know, the brackets and stuff. Oil pans in the green, and the head in the top is in the black and green, with the camshaft in a lovely green on there. You got two camshafts, sorry. It is a camshaft with a bearing. Then you've got two full camshafts in there as well. And obviously 4 spark plugs, just finishing it all off. But let's crack on and let's get the rest of this engine all finished. We've got some timing covers on here. These are just blacked out, one at the top, one at the bottom. And then for the cam gears, we went with the adjustable cam gears from the TK Aftermarket in a green and black. Green and black, looking very nice on there. Water pump, I didn't paint because I remembered this was going to sit under a cover. So we'll figure that one out in a minute. Serpentine belt, in you go, just blacked out as normal. And the Hydra roller in here. What one's this meant to be? This one's meant to be the white one. Had to remember then. On with the white one. In you go. Then we got the front covers. These are white, looking very nice. The bolts are going to be white as well, which will give us a chance to see how well we can match the whites today. On there we go. Then we got the crankshaft pulley. Just done that one in a black on there. Power steering pumps in a cheeky little white. Alternator is also in a cheeky little white on there. And then we've got the oil filter also in a white. Looking good. If I can click on it, the serpentine belt, in you go, blacked out with the last idle roller just in a cheeky black on there. Looking very, very nice. If we spin around up here, this ignition coil, for some reason, is mounted the wrong way. So I don't quite know what's going on with that. Also, it's only got 2 bolt holes and it's got a 4-bolt thing. So to fix that, I just made it invisible. There we go. Let's just bolt it up. Thanks to the quality of life mod, one of the paint options is invisible. It looked so weird, so I just made it invisible. Problem solved. Nice and simple. Fuel filter in the white up here. And then if we jump onto our engine head cover, let's get you in just in the black on there. Always wait for the last bolt for some reason. Let's get all of these bolted up and ready to go. In you go, and then down you go, all down there as well. Ignition wires in a cheeky little white, looking good. And then we got the ignition wire cover on top in the green. It does still say Elise on there, but it's a little bit blanked out, so you can't really see it that much. But anyway, intake manifold, on you go in that beautiful, beautiful yellow green. I'm absolutely loving it. Let's get you all bolted up. Round to the back, we've got the throttle, which we've just done in a cheeky black, and the fuel rail in a lovely little white and black on there, just a little splash of it, just to mix it in. Then we got the exhaust manifold, in you go, that beautiful green again. I'm absolutely loving it. Or yellowy green, I've got to make sure I keep calling it the same thing. And then the front exhaust section in that same colour. All looking very, very nice. Incredibly pleased with that. That's a beautiful Lotus K-Series engine finished. So let's get it dropped into our Salem GW500 and see how good it looks inside that engine bay. In we go. Get you put in. Get the crane put away. That's looking good. Nice big old splash of white on the side there. A little bit going on at the front. Plenty of greens and a lot of, green and yellow, or green or yellow, and a little bit of black on there as well, just to finish it off. I am liking that. We do have a couple more bonus parts to go in here, though, so let's crack on. One in here, just an AirBox tube, not coloured because it's already black, and these come out really white, so we're going to leave that as that. And the other one, just to connect it in up to there. Does clip out just a tiny little bit at the bottom, you can see just there, but as long as you stay at the right angle, you can't really tell, and it looks pretty good. Very, very pleased with that. Let's get back underneath, though, because we've got to finish this one off. Drive shaft, exhaust, and then we need to get some wheels done and get this beautiful car all finished off. Let's jump in underneath. Let's get the gearbox in to start with. In we go. This one's in a black. little splash of the greeny yellow on there as well, and all these beautiful white bolts. On you go. Then we got the front drive shaft, which is in a green through there. And then we can put on these front drive axles, which are just blacked out with a lovely little white bolt on there. That was a good jump over to the other side, wasn't it? There we go. In you go and in you go. Now let's crack on with the exhaust. So we got the front exhaust sections all in the greens just up there, bringing it, swinging it over the top, back down on the other side and in through there. There's a tiny little bit of clipping with that steering rack, but nothing too bad. Then we got the catalytic converter, which I did keep it today because we needed the bulge for our placement as to where that's going in. There is a blanking plate that sits on here that is body coloured and matched in with the exhaust, so it did work out in the end. Middle muffler, which is the resonator delete pipe, in you go there in the green. Exhaust pipe at the end in the green, and then the rear muffler, if I can get under it, also in that beautiful green on there. We'll check that out from the back in a moment. Then we got the drive shaft, which is just in a black, completely blacked out on there. Not going to be visible from most places, and this is normally the carbon fibre one, which I never leave the normal carbon fibre on. Just black it out and make it look cool. But I think that's everything, so let's take a walk out. Plenty of greens and whites under there, and obviously you've got all the black, and then that exhaust running through there. It looks absolutely stunning, and if we jump back up to the front, you can see that blanking plate on the end of the exhaust there. Really finishes it off and makes it look complete. I am loving that. Back down on the ground you go. Some wheels to do, windows to tint, liquids to top up, and we can get this beautiful car all finished off outside in the sun. Well, there we go, all finished with the sound system meltdown of Salem a GW500, our competition entry for this round. What do you all think? Don't forget, I need a wonderful score out of 10 so we can get this beautiful car onto the show car board. But before we jump into that, I did miss one part. I have already put it in. It is in there now, look. The starter is in there in a lovely little green with a couple of white bolts on there. And while we're here, let's check out how good this white is against the white. Not perfect, but it is very, very close. I am liking that. I think that engine looks fantastic in there. Good choice of engine, in my opinion. And this livery, what do you all think of the livery? I'm sure you'll let me know when you give me some scores out of 10 so we can get this one on the show car. Just a simple comment. If you just write a number, it could be 0.5 out of 10 if you wanted to give it a bad score. Or you could give it straight up a 10 out of 10, 9.9, anything like that. Just give it a score in the comments so we can get it on the wonderful show car board. But let's talk about these rims. I don't use these rims very often, but I'm regretting that decision because they are fantastic. These are the Rim Classic 03, and you can get a beautiful two-tone on there with the quality of life mod. We've got green around the outside, or that yellowy green around the outside, with a lovely splash of white in the middle there, just to keep on with that bit of white theme. The bolts on these, I changed my painting. I only did the engine bay or all the other bolts and not the rims. But then I since changed that to get the white on the rim bolts, although it's not quite perfect. But it looks good anyway. The front rims here are a 19-inch rim with a 205 width and a 25 profile on there. No ET needed. Absolutely fantastic in there. Down the back, still a 19-inch rim, 25 profile, but these are a 295 width down the back, so they're considerably wider. So if we did ever want to drag this, it probably wouldn't be too bad. I don't think it's going to be the most powerful ever, but I am loving this. We open the trunk. That's the worst bit of clipping we've got. The spoiler is technically a roof part, so it goes with the roof and doesn't open with the trunk. But that is because it is officially the SUV spoiler on there. We've got lots of colours in here, plenty of greens going on, or that yellowy green. A little bit of black in there as well. Bit of white around the Jackyl speakers and then white on the monitor. And if we open up the back door, I love all of this in here. I think it looks fantastic. You've got that white speaker bar across the back, which is 2 speaker bars. Green speaker bar in the middle, which I'll be honest is hiding the drive shaft, but also it's giving a little place for the 2 monitors there to lean. Then we've got another Jackyl amplifier, Jackyl subs, more speakers in there, and another green Hydra amp just down there, which is powering our display monitors, showing our statistics of the car. Is the same on the other side, and I think it looks fantastic. We open up the front. Obviously, we got my VM steering wheel with a few green bolts and a little bit of green on the logo there. Green, black, and white on the wonderful seats. I love these seats by Multyply. They're absolutely fantastic. And every time I'm going to use them, if possible, if they fit, and I don't have to do too much. But let's take a seat inside. It is looking nice in here, but let's get it started and hear that Lotus K-Series engine purr. That's quite a nice tick over. Let's give it some gas. Oh, I like that. That's a different sound. Not a sound we're used to here on this channel. It's sounding awesome. But anyway, enough of that. Let's get this beautiful Salem GW500 onto the dyno, see what we managed to squeeze from that horsepower, what its drag rating would be, and then back out here to see if we were to sell it, if we could make some profit. On the dyno with the Salem GW500 sound system meltdown with his K-Series Lotus engine pumping out 117 factory horsepower. How much have we increased it by today? And what will its drag rating be? A gain of 124 horsepower. Still a whole brand new engine on there. 106% gained. A little bit more than a brand new engine. Bringing us up to a massive 241 at total horsepower from this little beast. Loving that one with a drag rating of C 204, so it wouldn't be in the top scale if we were to race this beast anyway, but we're not racing it. It's definitely a show car, and it is looking very, very good in my opinion. But we have still done a little bit of gearbox tuning just to put some figures down. I went for a 3.33 ratio with 73 kilometers an hour in first gear, up to 302 in fifth gear. Don't forget, there is a beautiful ECU tune on this one, fully done up to 16%. There is a short just up here in the corner or linked in the description below, or you can find it on the shorts on my channel. I only have 3. One is the carb tuning, one is the ECU tuning, and one is a mini short trailer I made for a DLC. I can't remember which one now, but there's only them 3 on there, so it's very easy to find if you want to learn how to tune it. But there we go. Let's get this beast back out the front, have a final look around, see what's coming next, and see how much we could sell this one for if we were to sell it. Well, there we go. All finished, looking beautiful. I love that K-Series engine. I think it looks fantastic in that engine bay. Absolutely loving it, even if we have lost a bit of the white on the pipes there. I have no idea how that happened, but there we go. Sort of ruined it a little bit towards the end. Still looking good, though, nonetheless. Let's talk some facts and figures. I bought the car for $28,860 and could have sold it at a loss of 817, which actually wouldn't have been that bad, but we still obviously like to make a lovely amount of profit. We further spent a 76,462 upgrading, tuning, modifying, and painting this absolutely stunning build. I absolutely love it, and definitely do give me a score out of 10 in the comments below. Putting our total spend at 100,322. Hopefully there would be some profit to make if we ever come to sell this beast. Obviously, we're definitely not for the time being. Ignore the floating spoiler, but there we go. So let's jump in and let's take a look and see if we could sell this car, if we could make just the tiniest bit of profit from it. Well, there she is, all 100% finished, less than 100,000 kilometers on there, which is always a good thing. That little K-Series engine taken from 117 horsepower up to 241, a gain of 106%, which I'm definitely very impressed with. But we did spend just over 100,000 to get there, so if we were to sell it, would we make some money? We would indeed, with a sale price of 139,302. Take away what we spent, 100,322, leaves us with 38,980 profit if we were going to sell this beast. We're obviously not going to, but do give me a score out of 10. Ta-da! Our lovely show car board up there, so we can get this one onto the show car board. Where is it going to end up? We've got 5 entries on there so far. 4 of them are sat over there. The only extra one is the Mercedes Gullwing. So where will this one sit? Hopefully the top place, because I absolutely love this car. We're obviously definitely not selling it. So there we go. If you want this one on the workshop, I will put it up there. It will have everything but this front splitter and this rear diffuser, but I will definitely be putting this livery up on there anyway. But if you want the whole config, do let me know in the comments, as well as giving it that beautiful score out of 10. But what have we got coming up next? Well, when we come back on a Monday, we will be working on this absolutely wild, crazy beast. This is the Bolt Atlanta Trespasser. It's an off-roady style build. I do think it's only still rear-wheel drive. So we'll be taking this one around the gravel track. We haven't been there for a little while, so we're going to have some fun at tuning this one up, making it look cool, and getting it around the gravel track. The engine in this one is currently the V8 Hemi 440 6-pack. We could swap it to anyone, so if you want something specific, do let me know in the comments below, because we won't be coming back to this one until Monday, so you've got plenty of time to give me some suggestions. Did we get a good deal for it? Absolutely not. 20,409 is what I paid, and I could sell it for 19,610, losing out on 799 before we even begin, which is never a good start, but there we go. So this is what we will be working on Monday. Join us back here on a Friday when we'll be playing more City Skylines 2 in What the Friday, a lovely series that I've definitely been enjoying. Join us back on Monday when we're doing that beautiful Trespasser. I've really enjoyed making some custom cars, and this one's going around the gravel track, so it's going to be a bit of fun. Don't forget, competitions run every fortnight. This one is closing today, a little bit later on today. We'll know the winner on Thursday. There we go. And then we'll announce it on the channel here back on a Monday when we're back in Car Mechanic Simulator. But if you're on Discord, you will already know. Don't forget to come and take part. Vote for your favourite and join in the next competition, as you might not have enough time for this one. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a cheeky little like if you did enjoy this video. Please leave me a comment with a score out of 10. I want to get this one on the show car board, and I'd love it if it was at the top. But I understand if you don't quite rate it that highly. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a beautiful day, whatever it is you're getting up to. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Like and subscribe for Virtual Mechanic.